He posed as an undercover police officer, kidnapped a woman in Seattle, drove her hundreds of miles to his home in Oregon, locked her in a cinder block cell until she bloodied her hands, breaking the door to escape. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. He is 29 years old and he was arrested in, I believe it was, I know it's in Nevada, so I'm just gonna say Nevada. He was arrested in Nevada hours after she escaped. They were able to track him down where he was at a Walmart with his children and his wife. And after a 45-minute standoff, they was able to arrest him. And they believe that this guy has more victims. They say that they know, I'm not going to say for a fact, but they believe that he's linked to at least 4 victims, um, assaults at this time. 4 victims right now that he's linked to, and that is not including the one that he took from Seattle, Washington, and drove her all the way to his home in Oregon. I declare, honey, it's a disgrace. So I have a picture of this cinder block room, and I'm going to put it up here so you guys can take a look. And they say that this lady actually dug herself out of this room by using her hands were all bloody. That was the she was able to break down that glass door that you see right there. Sorry, y'all can't see it on Tickety Talk. She was able to break down that glass door, claw through the sides, and she was able to go outside and free herself from this room. As you can see, it's a makeshift room, and it was in his garage. As you can see, it was made out of cinder blocks. It's got something on the top of it, complete cinder block room with a door. It had a couple of doors on it, and somehow this lady was able to free herself from this room after she had been there for several hours. Now, let's get into the complaint. So, according to reports, Zuberi saw a woman. He picked her up, and she was actually a ex-worker, a uchi coochie la 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 worker. He showed her a badge and told her that he was an undercover police officer. He pointed a stun weapon at her and then placed her in handcuffs, leg irons, before putting her in the back of his vehicle. He knew his home in Oregon, stopping along the way to take advantage of her. When they arrived about 7 hours after he first encountered her in Seattle, he put her in the makeshift cell he had built in his garage. It was a cinder block cell, the one you see on the screen, with a door with metal bars, and said that he was leaving to do paperwork. The woman said that she briefly slept and awoke to the realization that she would likely die if she did not attempt to escape. So she started punching the metal doors, broke some of the welded joints, creating a small opening in which she climbed through. This is according to the Klamath Falls police captain, Rob Reynolds. He said when she was trying to escape the cell herself, she repeatedly punched the door with her own hands. She had several lacerations on her hands and along her knuckles. The victim, once she escaped the room, she then saw Zuberi's vehicle parked in the garage. She opened it, grabbed his weapon, and then took off, leaving blood on the wooden fence. She climbed over to escape. She flagged down a passing driver who called 911. Now, when the police got to his home, he had already escaped. He was in his car holding one of his children in the front seat while talking to his wife, who was standing outside the vehicle. He initially refused to get out of the car, and when the officers asked, and instead he cut himself with a sharp object and tried to destroy his phone, according to the complaint. Um, but he did eventually surrender and no one was harmed. Again, his wife was standing outside of the vehicle when the police initially approached Zuberi to take him down. Now, according to the complaint, investigators interviewed Zuberi's wife and neighbors. Authorities declined to say if there was any indication that any of them had been aware of the Seattle woman's abduction. Investigators said that when they searched Zuberi's home and garage, they found the makeshift cell, the woman's purse, and handwritten notes, which I have a copy. of this handwritten note. One of these notes says Operation Takeover. Leave phone at home. Make sure they don't have a bunch of people in their life. You don't want any type of investigation. And here is another note, and I'm gonna try to read it here. As you can see, it's a drawing of some sort, and it says dig a hole straight down 100 feet.